What's up, world? Welcome to a new episode of the BrandonJaneauShow. Sorry about that. I gotta make sure this is right. Welcome to a new episode of the BrandonJaneauShow. Hope you guys are enjoying your week off. If you got a week off, tomorrow might be your last day of work before Thanksgiving. Hope you guys enjoy y'all Thanksgiving this Thursday. I know damn sure I will be. Couple football games and a lot of food and a lot of sleep. A lot of sleep, especially if these football games go the way I think. So, hope you guys enjoy this. Shout out to everybody that's listening or viewing or subscribing, man. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys, man. Um, I'm recording this Tuesday, so this is gonna be out after Thanksgiving. But hope you guys have enjoyed y'all Thanksgiving, and let's get into it. So like I said, shout out to everybody that's listening, viewing, anything, man. YouTube channel, Brian Janeau Show. Went in and actually just put out the at me. It's Brian Janeau at Brian Janeau Show. So that's my social media on YouTube. So if you guys need to kind of contact me, I guess, and tell me how the videos are doing, or you want to debate, or you want to have a conversation, I don't know, but there it is at Brian Janeau Show on YouTube. Speaking of that, on Instagram, uh, Brandon Janeau Show on TikTok as well. So you go there and hit me up. More so on Instagram than TikTok, but that's neither here nor there. Um, and of course, Brandon Janeau Show is the podcast and is on all podcast platforms. So I hope you guys enjoy that, especially today's episode that's out right now. Life and Times with Music, Ed Sheeran, man. I enjoyed doing that. I did that last week, and you know, I hope you guys enjoy that, man. Got another episode dropping on Thanksgiving night. So I will be posting clips of that soon. Maybe tomorrow, start posting it tomorrow. A lot of clips tomorrow. I know a lot of people ain't gonna want to see Thursday night, but Friday morning I'll definitely probably post another clip. But until then, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video tonight. Because it's Life and Times Music and it's exactly what I've been waiting to do, man. It's another album review on Life and Times with Music. And this album, I told you after the Ed Sheeran show that I was gonna do uh another artist with an album that I really, really loved. And I'm actually debating if I'm going to do a versus with this album and one of his other albums because this album's really good, and then one of those other albums was really fucking good, and I like it a lot. So, but the artist is Meek Mill, and the album is Dreams and Nightmares, one of my favorite albums. It just celebrated its 10-year anniversary. It's crazy that it's been 10 years since this album debuted. It was an incredible body of work. It probably doesn't get its proper respect when it comes to his catalog, and particularly the song gets his respect. The intro, of course, gets his respect, but the album in his old discography doesn't get its true respect. I think it was one of the best debut albums that came out in a decade. Like it's one of those albums that you remember in a decade that was like that shit was kind of fire. And especially in a decade where you had the J. Cole's, the Kendricks, the Drakes, the Big Sean's. You had I think Wiz Khalifa's first project came out around that time. Big Crit. You had so many artists, man. Mac Miller, Tyler the Creator. Like you had so many artists that dropped in 2000s and the 2010s. This was one of the best debut albums I heard. And the reason why I say it doesn't get its proper respect is because it came out a week after Good Kid, Mad City. It came out a week after that classic by Kendrick Lamar, which is another album that I will be getting into. But that one is going to be a versus, and that's going to be Good Kid, Mad City versus Damn Kendrick Lamar version. So be on the lookout for that. That might actually be the next album versus I might do. So because I've been promising it for a minute. But let's get into it, man. Dreams and Nightmares. I love a lot of Meek Mill's albums. Most of his albums are really good. Even his mixtapes. Mixtapes. I started listening to Meek around Dream Chasers, of course. The Dream Chasers mixtape. He got a lot of my favorite songs from his catalog on that Dream Chasers mixtape. You know what I'm saying? Tony's Story. What else? House Party with him and Young Chris. Uh, this money. Get this money. Um, I'm a Boss was on that original Dream Chasers mixtape with him and Rick Ross. Of course, became so fucking massive. Um, what else, man? He had so many fucking songs on that Dream Chasers mixtape. And before he dropped this album, he dropped Dream Chasers 2, which is another classic mixtape. It has so many classic songs off that bitch. And two of them actually made this album, and I will talk about that during this album. But he has so many great songs off that mixtape as well. And like I said, a lot of his music is really good, man. I like a lot of Meek Mill's albums. Um, even the album after this was really dope. DC4, DC3 I don't really fuck with, but DC4 was really good. Um, Wins and Losses was another dope project that was so good. And at the time frame that it came out, he was beefing with Drake. It was kind of like a lot of crazy shit going on around him. Meek and him and Nicki had just broke up. There was a lot of shit going on with him at that time. But Wins and Losses is so much. I actually think Wins and Losses is actually better than Championship. And that might be the album I debate this shit with. I think Wins and Losses is really better than Championship. I love Championship. It's a dope album, but outside of like the Drake collab and the Rick Ross and Hove collab and the LMA collab, like I love Championship, but it had some songs on there I was just like, I guess. Wins and Losses felt more like a collection of like real good shit. And so that might be the album I debate this with. But I wanted to get into this album. Like I said, just celebrated his 10-year anniversary of being an album out here in these streets. And you know, it's one of those albums, man. Like I said, it's one of my favorite debut albums that came out. And let's get into it, man. The first song off the album clearly is the song that everybody knows off the fucking album. And that's Dreams and Nightmares, the intro. I remember the night it came out. I remember the night that this intro actually came out. It was like maybe a week or two before the album actually physically came out. I remember being on Hot New Hip Hop and this fucking song hit. And I'm like, Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares. Okay. I know his album about to drop, so why is he dropping this? I clicked it. I was like, yeah, this shit hot. Yeah, like, yeah, this shit fire. I'm like, oh shit, he got one. And that sold me on the fucking album right then and there. I'm not even gonna lie. It sold me right then and there on this album, man. The song is literally a club banger. If you ever been in the club recently, over these last 10 fucking years, it's literally the song that it gets everybody up in the club. It's like when y'all kind of like done with the club, kind of your energy kind of going down a little bit. You got a couple drinks and you already like, I don't really feel like dealing with shit. And then that fucking song come on, that fucking beat come on. That's what you've been waiting for. Oh, that shit. You ready? Oh shit, nigga. You be looking around. Oh, this nigga here, this fucking DJ. How dare this nigga play this fucking song when I'm getting ready to get the fuck out this bitch. And they'll play this song, bottles start coming up, you like, oh, the fucking lights start, oh, that shit there. And this song comes on, man, it still gets the fucking club going, man. Like, I used to pray for times like this, to shine like this, and I'm at, oh, like, god damn, nigga. Everybody knows when the fucking nightmare part come on, though. That's the dreams part. We know the beginning, but the nightmare part is where the shit gets. I'm like, real nigga, what up? Real nigga, shut up. If you ain't about that murder game, then pussy nigga, shut up. Ah, shit. Like, oh, this nigga here. How dare he? He get on this song and kill this shit like that. I knew it was real when you see Drake be like, yo, this might be the hardest fucking intro I've ever heard on a rap song, on a rap album. Like, this is the greatest intro ever. I don't know if it's the greatest intro ever on an album, but this shit damn show top 5. I even give it top 3. I don't give it top 5. Like, I give it top 5. Like the mob off the Carter 2 is like, yeah, that's hard for me. To like, yeah, the mob off of Carter 2 is like, shit, that's untouchable for me personally. But yeah, or even 95 South, on off of the off season for J Cole. Like, yeah, but this bitch definitely hit. It's one of them songs, man. Dreams and Nightmares kicks the album off, and it kicks it off perfectly, man. It kicks it off fucking perfectly. Then it goes into song number 2, "In God We Trust." Now, this song, when I first heard the album, and I heard Dreams and Nightmares. I'm like, okay, where's he going next with this? The energy still was up there. Excuse me, sorry. Uh, the energy was still up there with this in God We Trust, and it was so fucking good. Uh, Same thing, man. The energy was still there, man. Off the Dreams and Nightmares high, like it was. The beat was still like grungy. It felt like Philly, and it was just like, yeah, this shit hit different. We didn't went to war with the best, shot it out with the realest. Hey, God, we trust. Like, yeah. For the love of the money, for the love of the money, for the love of the money, love of the money, and the love of the money. For the real niggas on me. Like, and God, we trust that shit, man. Like, these two songs back to back is like, yeah, this album hard. Now, gets to number three. Young and I'm getting it with Kurt Cobain. I was listening to this album, of course, like I always do before I do a intro, or before I do something like this. I didn't like this song when it first came out. I still don't like the fucking song. It's cool. It's decent. It's alright. But it is like, I don't really give a fuck. I don't like it. I still don't like the song. I don't know if it's Kurt Cobain's. I don't know if it's the beat. I don't know what it is. But it sucks. It's not a good, I don't want to say it sucks, but it's, eh, eh, eh. And believe it or not, this is the first fucking single off this project. like, like outside of the two songs that he physically already had dropped off of Dream Chasers 2, which is on his project, this was the first song off the album that technically was off the album. And it just was like, I don't know about that. I didn't like it. I don't like it. I still don't like it. It's catchy, but it's not like he could have picked a way better fucking song. He could have picked number four. Track number four on this album could have been a better song. Traumatization. Oh, traumatized, I should say. Traumatized is a fucking banger. Lord Jesus, that sounds so fucking hard. Traumatized is such a fucking banger. Oh my god, that sounds so fucking hard. It really killed me when they killed Shawty. I was like that in my cell, and I had to read about it when Nick left Philly, left him out in Philly. We was rocking, we was rocking all them shows, fucking all them hoes, and you made my mama cry. Yeah, that shit hard, man. That shit was a hard ass song, man. And I'm gonna let this rain hit you for all the rainy days, nigga. Bow, bow, bow. Yeah, Traumatized was a fucking banger. It was a fucking banger, man. Same church my father got buried in. That was now, that was then. Had the blocks jumping for them dollars. Sean Marion. That's why I go get my own, cause I'm arrogant. Yeah, yeah, that shit was hard. Then track number five, uh, Believe It, with Rick Ross. It's dope. It's a good song. It's a good song with them two. I think it wasn't this track number six, but it was definitely track number five. It served its purpose, and for Rick Ross to be on a song like that with him, and it got a lot of people. I remember when the album did come out, and this was one of everybody's like a lot of people's favorite song off this project at the beginning. It was a decent song. It was a real good song. Um, Track number six, Maybach Curtains, is one of my favorite songs off this project. Like it's probably my favorite song off the project actually. Um, it features John Legend, Nas, and Rick Ross, and it's such a good fucking song, man. It really fucking is. Um, just to hear all three of those men's stories, and then John Legend's singing ability on this song carried the song home. Really, look how far we didn't came. You know what I'm saying? It's just like just all of that, man. I think that was one of the best songs um of the project. I think it's one of my favorite songs. It is my favorite song off this project, man. Just off of because this it felt like again it wasn't traumatized and it wasn't like in God We Trust. It was really like a reflective moment. I like a lot of those songs when it's kind of like you're not in that life anymore, but you're reflecting on like now the future, what you're going through and what you're doing now. Like when he was like Stevie J all on the mic, he's screaming out, "Well, city nigga, Philly, we back!" Like it just tells you right there and there, like okay, this song is different. Young nigga out of Philly, young legend out of Queens, take over city to city, like, like, yeah. So yeah, Maybach Curtains is my shit. Track number seven, Amen. I know I'm probably gonna help with that one, but features Drake and Jeremiah. Now this is one of the songs off Dream Chasers 2 that I was just talking about. It was all Dream Chasers 2. I remember this mixtape coming out and listening to this song and loving it. I was like, yo, this shit a banger. And at the time, this was when Drake and Meek wasn't beefing. It was early in the years. It was like Drake actually brought Meek Mill on a tour with him. I think I talked about this before, where he had a tour a long time ago. It was called Paradise, the Club Paradise tour. He had French Montana, Waka Flocka, J. Cole, uh, Two Chains, um, and Meek Mill. I think Meek. I can't remember who else was on that tour. I know it was French. I know it was Meek. I know it was Waka, and I know it was J. Cole, because all of them in Two Chains and Meek, and I knew it was all of them because Drake had a song with each and every single artist on that tour. Him and French had a song, and at the time it wasn't a lot of them records that them two did at that time, so it was Stay Scheming. So he would bring French out on that tour and do Stay Scheming. For Waka Flocka, it was Round of Applause. Him and Drake had a Round of Applause was hot. For Two Chains, it was No Lie, clearly. Um, J. Cole was In the Morning. And then for Meek, it was Amen. So he had a song with each and every single one of those artists, and he brought them back on stage that night. And it's how crazy this is, because I never even went to that tour, but I knew why he had them on this fucking tour. And Amen was one of them songs, man. Amen, when it came out, was a banger. A lot of people might not remember how much of a hit this fucking song really was, but it was a fucking hit. And I was happy to see this song on the album, and I was like, oh shit, he took it off the mixtape and put it on his album. That's pretty smart because Drake at that time could do no fucking wrong. This is 2011, 2012 Drake, so he could do no fucking wrong. Every time he 2011, 2012, oh shit. 2009, 2009, 2013 era of Drake, it was just like he could do no wrong. And Amen was one of those songs, man. They killed this shit together. Like I said, Jeremiah was on this song. It was a perfect, and that was kind of like the start of Jeremiah's hook era. Like Jeremiah was starting to become now like the go to hook guy, and that was a big thing for him. So yeah, track number eight was again one of those fire fucking songs. Young Kings. If this is like probably I'd probably say my third favorite song of this project. Young Kings was so fucking fire, man. It's one of my favorite songs off this project. It's dope as fuck. It made me feel like I'm in Vegas when I hear this song. Like it's just like a Vegas feel. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something about this song, man. Young Kings, rolling with my young kings, young kings. And all we get is money, nigga. Fuck fame and fuck fame. I be rolling with some young kings, rolling with some young kings, young kings. Get the money, nigga. Fuck fame and fuck fame. Like that shit was like it's just that shit hit different. Like, yeah, man. This is what I say about my favorite album sometimes, right? I say this a lot, and I think if you are a true fan of music, and particularly a lot of these albums, five, I would say maybe the first four tracks, you're like, okay, I can kind of, all right, they're trying to test some shit. By track five, if they don't catch you, and by six, seven, eight, if they don't grab you by then, nine, ten, well, however long this album is gonna be, you're not even interested no more because by five, six, seven, you cut out. You're like, hey, I look for the songs that I actually know and I like, and I fuck with that. So from like I said, five was decent. It was cool. It was a Rick Ross meet. It was cool. But six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12 of this project fucking fire. Like I was just like, yeah, this is a pretty good fucking debut album. Is why I want to talk about it. Because number nine after Young Kings was Layup, and it features Trey Songz, it features Wale, and it features Rick Ross. Now I always thought Layup was actually supposed to be somebody else on that song, and it kind of was. It was. I think Jay Z was actually supposed to be on the song because I saw somewhere where they remixed it and it had Hove on it. And so it's kind of like Layup was a really decent song. It was cool, man. It was a really good laid back song. You got a girl. That was the perfect song to play for y'all. Like it was a really good song. Layup, like it was like that shit was a fire. That shit was fire, man. That shit was fire. And so yeah, I always thought Ross shouldn't have been on that song. I thought Hove would have fit better. And then of course I see the song remix. layup remix, and it's Jay Z. It was actually supposed to be Jay on that song, so that shit made sense. so it always felt like it was supposed to be a Jay Z record, and it was just like, eh. But yeah, layup was a fire fucking song. Goes into song number 10, Toy Story Part 2. Like I said on Dream Chasers, excuse me, the original Dream Chasers mixtape. Tony Story. Tony Story, the first Tony Story was fucking fire. The Jungle Beats Holla at Me beat comes on. He just goes into this story. Something that people don't give Meek Mill a lot of credit for is this storytelling shit. He's really actually good. Tony's Story Part One was incredible, and the story Tony's Story Part Two was just as fire. You know what I'm saying? If you heard Tony's Story Part One, you know the story and how he kind of created it and how he did it. And I forget the fucking movie. He did a movie about this shit. He actually had a movie of kind of about this particular scenario. And it's like I forgot what the fucking movie was called. It used to be on BT a lot. So if y'all remember this movie, y'all probably remember what I'm talking about. But it's kind of about this. It was kind of the premise of this song. And so when I heard Tony Story Part Two, it was like, okay, that makes sense. And then you hear, Tony Story Part Two, and he's talking about how his little brother is trying to ride on the nigga that killed his brother. It's like, oh nah, bro, you're not gonna kill my brother. And and because he killed his cousin in the first one, he killed his first cousin. So he's like, oh fuck, nah, you ain't gonna just kill my cousin and get away with it. And the way he fucked him up, he got him in the song. He's like, god damn. And then you hear Tony Story Part Two, and you're like, how his little brother's not looking for revenge, and I understand that. I'm a little brother. If something happened to my big brother, I'd probably try to kill a nigga too. I'd be honest with the situation. Probably try to kill a nigga too. And it's just like, so it made sense. I was like, man, that makes sense. I totally understand why little bro was trying to go kill his nigga now. Like, you kill my brother, bro. I'm ride on you, nigga. What the fuck you mean? I totally understood that shit. I totally understand, and that's probably why I like the song so fucking much. Like, I can understand the scenario. I can totally understand the scenario. If you hurt anybody in my family, I'm probably gonna hurt you. Like, it's just the way that goes. Um, Track 11. Who You're Around. Now this features Mary J. Blige, and this was another one of them songs. Like I said, this might be my second. This might be my second favorite song. It could even rival number one because Who You're Around is so fucking crazy, man. He's just pretty much like, again, like I love about Maybach Curtains. This is kind of reflection, but it's kind of going back in time, and it's like, and he's kind of like pinpointing where he's at in his life again, but he's explaining how you know particularly a friend's are now looking at him, and it's like he has a line in the song like, yo, if I was in a ghost, if I was in a hearse, if you in a hearse, I'll be in a hearse too. Like, I will ride for you. Like, I got you, bro. And it kind of makes sense of the Tony Story Part Two, because it kind of like this. It's like if B8, we straight. That was the motto, my nigga. I got rich first. You was supposed to follow my nigga. I'm gone. And he's just explaining like, yo, like, y'all saying I can't come back to Philly. I can't do all this shit. I can't do this, but yet, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all not understanding. Like, I would have put y'all in positions that I'm putting these niggas that I did bring with me in positions, like O'Malley and all them. I'm putting these niggas in positions, but you treat me like I'm not putting any nigga in position. And it's like, no, I'm not putting you in a certain position, and you feel some type of way. And that's probably why I love this song so much. Cause and then Mary J fucking Blige, man, come on, like, she's queen, like, come on, bro, like the hit is, and then have her singing it. It was like, yep, that makes sense. Like, it makes sense. And when it rains, niggas get wet. Gone. Like, remember when it rained, nigga get wet. Gone. So that was yeah, I like that song a lot. Polos and Shell Toes is another fire song, kind of reflecting song on his past again. And it was a really dope song. I love that song a lot. Rich and Famous, it's kind of like, it was decent. It was a decent song. When I first heard the project, I liked it a lot. And now I'm getting older. It's decent. It's decent. If I go now and listen to it physically, like go really, really listen to it again, and I'll probably be like, yeah, it's fire. It's still fire. You got some good shit in it. And that features Lou V. Track 14, Real Niggas Come First. This show's fire. It's still fire. It's actually still a real fire fucking song. Uh, What real niggas come first, dope boys come second, boss niggas come third, all that shit. Like he go hard. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I like that hoe. Track 14 is Burn, and this is the other song off of Dream Chasers 2 that I loved immediately when I heard this shit. Which is another artist I might actually have to do. I don't know if I'm gonna do an album one on him or I'm gonna just do a full length like one on him. But Burn features Big Sean. They hit them two niggas on this song on Dream Chasers 2. Like I said, I loved the song immediately when I heard it. Big Sean at the time had dropped, I think, Detroit 2. No, Detroit. I'm tripping. Detroit. That was one of my favorite projects of 2012 outside of this one and outside of Good Kid, Mad City, and outside of probably, yeah, outside of those, like, and outside of just the J. Cole mixtapes that he was dropping at that time, also around that time, like that Detroit mixtape could do no wrong. And so when I heard Big Sean on this project and I heard Big Sean on Dream Chasers 2 with Burn, I'm like, yo, this shit fire. And then they had it like put it on as a bonus track after the album came out. I was like, that makes fucking sense. It makes total fucking sense. And these two niggas killed that shit. Like I'm only 23, and nigga said what he said, nigga, you riding in the Prius. I'm only nigga said you riding in the Prius and I'm only 23. Like some shit like that. Like he was just like killing that shit. Oh, and I ain't ride. Yeah, I'm only 23 and I ain't riding in the Prius. I was like, yeah, damn, nigga. How you gonna tell that to somebody? Like, I'm only 23 and I ain't riding in the Prius. Like, I was like, God damn, nigga. It just them two niggas together off the energy. Like, them two was creating some good shit. And they killed that shit. And track 16 is Freak Show. And I think that was also off of Dream Chasers too, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that featured Sam Sneak and I think Wale or some shot. So or 2 Chainz, somebody. But yeah, this is why it's one of my favorite projects. Like outside of maybe, like I said, outside of Young and Getting It, uh, even I give Rich and Famous a good grade on this project. And maybe Freak Show. This is why it's one of my favorite albums that debuted in 2012 and it's still one of my favorite albums to listen to. All in all, man, this whole body of work, this whole project was incredible, man. It really is. Outside, like for a 16 track album, only two of them is like two songs are kind of like, I can do without. That's 14 songs that you still like, man. This shit hard. This shit hit. This shit hit. Um, the hook on Rich and Famous kind of makes that song even better. Um, now that I think about it, Polos and Shell Toes is fire. The beat was really good, man. Real Niggas Come First is fire. Burn was incredible. Who You're Around is such a great, incredible storytelling song. So is Tony's Story Part 2. Layup is some chill shit. You can lay back and chill with that one. Young Kings is so fucking good. A Man is dope as fuck. Maybach Curtains is one of the best songs off this project. Believe It with Rick Ross and him is dope. Uh, Traumatized is fucking incredible. Young and Getting It, you can live without it. Uh, and God We Trust, top notch, number 2 song. And Dreams and Nightmares might be literally the greatest intro on hip hop album history. Not to me, but a lot of people. That's like I said, it's top 5. It's top 5. I give you 3. It's top 5. It's top 5. It's top 5. I give you top 4. I give it top 4. Listen, man. This album, man, all in all, like I said, it doesn't get its proper respect a decade, and maybe now when you look and listen to it now, a decade now, it's like, yeah, why the fuck was this album kind of like slept on? It kind of was slept on because of Good Kid, Mad City, and I think the reason why, and I think these albums actually supposed to come out on the same day, and I think they moved Kendrick down, and they moved Meek back because they didn't want two up and coming artists at the same time to drop. But I think Dreams and Nightmares gets a bad rap, the album wise. Like it's a really good debut album, man. Like it's a fire fucking debut album, man. And like I said, Good Kid, Mad City dropped a week before. If it didn't drop a week before, excuse me, I think Dreams and Nightmares. Like if Get Kid, Mad City dropped at the beginning of October, and then Dreams and Nightmares dropped at the end of October, you would have probably been like, that makes sense. It's and both of these albums would have shined, but because it was like in a week's time of each other, Kendrick's album was so much sonically equipped and it was so good. A lot of people probably give it its highest success. Where Dreams and Nightmares kind of got washed ashore, and it was like, okay, it's kind of like cool, whatever, I don't care. But after listening, after seeing saying these track listening to the album as much as I've have, Dreams and Nightmares should have gotten its proper respect. And for a decade later, I don't think people really still give it its proper context and give it its proper respect for a debut album because we, like I say, we're so in love with Good Kid, Mad City that we don't give it its proper respect. And I think that for a debut album, this was probably one of the best albums. And like I said, in Meek Mill's discography, outside of the mixtapes, this might be the best album that he's ever dropped. Like I said, I love wins and losses. Championship is really dope. You know what I'm saying? But I love this album too, man. This album's fucking fire. Like I said, when I first heard this album and I remember getting it on my iPod, I was like, yo, this shit is fucking fire. And yeah, man, it's still one of the best debut albums I've heard in 10 years. Like, it's one of them albums, man. And I hope more people, after this comes out, I hope more people go listen to this project and really, like, listen to it. Now, like, and I get it, you're gonna probably be biased or maybe even be like, I already saw how Meek Mill's career is played out. It's kind of like, I don't really fuck with it. I get that, totally understand that. But take yourself out of that for a while. 10 years after that, like 10 years, go back before you heard all of this shit about Meek and all the things he's done and all of this shit, and you probably call him goofy now and all this shit. Like, go listen to this project now. Like, get rid of all that and just be unbiased and listen to this album. You'll probably be like, "Oh, this shit kind of was fucking fire. It was a slap. Like, shit was fire." Like when I go and I listen to this album in full, it's like, damn, this shit was fucking fire. Like it might take outside of Young and Getting It for like after the second song, after the third song, you're probably listening to the rest of the album. Like the entire, like outside of if you don't put it like if and some people even like Young and Getting It. I just personally don't like it. It's not a good song for me personally. But Dreams and Nightmares and God We Trust, Traumatized, Believe It, Maybach Curtains, Amen, Young Kings, Layup, Tony Story Part Two, Who You're Around, Polos and Chateaus, Rich and Famous, Real Niggas Come First, Burn. I mean, I could do without Freak Show, but you know what I'm saying? Outside of those two songs, this album's fucking incredible. Like 14 songs that you could fuck with, I take that. Like in a 16 song album, I take that. I take that project. I take that project, man. So, like I said, man, it's one of those albums that you physically got to go listen to. Like I said, take out the bias, take out what you now know of Meek Mill, go listen to this project. You'd be like, oh, this shit fire. This shit is fucking fire. So, if you guys enjoyed this, man, like I said, what's the next life of times for music, right? You're kind of thinking right now, right? Eventually, I will be doing an album, a musical review of 2022. I know it wasn't that many albums and it wasn't even that many, but I might even talk about the Grammys, which just recently just came out, particularly the hip hop category, because that's what I really want to talk about. Because outside of that category, I care less who the fuck got nominated. Like the hip hop category was so bad this year, it's fucking ridiculous. But anyway, um, and so I'm gonna talk about that, and that's gonna be at the end of the year. I'm gonna talk about that, and pretty much what I'm looking forward to in 2023 when it comes to music. And I'm also gonna give my review. All that's gonna be in one episode, pretty much. 2020 album review, artist review, all that shit. Talk about all that. Grammys and 2023 predictions of what I'm looking forward to in music tours, all that shit. That's coming soon. But when it comes to life and times of music, I don't know if I'm gonna do an artist versus or an album next. I really don't know. I want to do an artist, and I probably will. And that artist is going to be The Weeknd. So The Weeknd is the next artist up, and the album that I probably will do, if I have to pick one right now, um, what's an album that I really like and I fuck with? I said Kendrick, Good Kid, Mad City. I don't know if I'm gonna do that when I'm probably do a verses with that. Probably gonna do a whole episode with that. Probably do a verses with that, and that'd be damn. And that might be the next one I'll do after that. After The Weeknd, I'll probably do the damn verses. Mm. Uh, yeah, yeah. And artist wise, the weekend, and yeah. So the weekend's gonna be the next artist I do. Yeah, the weekend, and then I do a versus Good Kid, Mad City versus Damn Kendrick Lamar. So that's gonna be the next one. And like I said, 2022 music review. So yep, those are the next three Life and Times of Musics coming soon. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode when it comes out. Uh, like I said, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys enjoyed y'all Thanksgiving. Which means we gotta be looking forward to Christmas. Happy, happy, joy, joy. um, until then, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Love to all, man. Appreciate all. Respect to all. And hug y'all families. Tell them you love them. And enjoy the rest of y'all day, man. Peace.